Hello and welcome to the EEPROM 9 on shitty crappy webcam, which is out of focus because I was playing with the lens. Bear with me. No. No. Oh, it's blurry Vaseline lens for you guys and girls out there. Tough shit. So, where the hell have I been? Yes, I've still been on hiatus, haven't I, as I said. But hey. I've been doing the fun of job applications. Yay, job applications, because they're totally fun. Oh well, that's the joys of finishing your masters, isn't it? But it's all done, for those who don't know. It's all finally done. No more higher education. I'm not moving on to a PhD. Masters was hard enough. If I can get a company to fund a PhD at a later date, then I'll consider it, but otherwise, no. It's too much. Yeah, I'll be getting my results through in December, so I may update then, when I get those, because it'd be interesting. Well, regardless, it'd be interesting. But whether I'll put it out on the internet, yeah, doing all the job applications for positions in computer security, pen testing, all that fun stuff. And I've actually been having interviews, which is nice, but we're not going to go into huge details there because that's boring. So yeah, I should be starting my career this year technically, if I don't get a job before December. Well, January I think it is, yeah. If I don't get a job before then I technically start my career next year. I'm so used to the academic year that that's the one I actually go by, not this whole starting in January nonsense. I go by the academic year because that's been my life. I don't know why there's a difference in them. Personally, why not make them line up? That makes much more sense. Hey look, you can see my IBM behind me. Yes, we haven't had a vintage computer video in far too long. I must change that. I actually have some videos lined up. One was a Halloween one from last year. Yep, Halloween's been and gone, but I have the footage. It's basically me in a chemical suit with my gas mask and a Geiger counter going around the uni doing, well, me sort of things I like doing. Being weird, basically, because being weird's fun. You know, all the intelligent people are eccentric and strange and get excited over silly things and nerdy things. That's always a good thing, you know. It's always best to be non-generic, because let's be honest, generic people are boring. Look, microphone's right next to my mouth. We should have no audio quietness complaints. We'll probably get quality, but look, a decent microphone will cost about 50 quid. I'm not willing to spend that, not on a microphone anyway. I need to put that kind of money to a new graphics card for my computer for Fallout 4 because it's finally out. Yes, that's the one game I've been interested in, Fallout 4. I did have a bit of interest in Five Nights at Freddy's, but that sort of died off. Still, was fun playing with it while that one lasted. Yeah, too many sequels sort of killed it for me. You know, you start 3, it's like, yeah, this is fun, and then it's like 4, and it's just like, is this really necessary? Oh well. And then there was a Halloween update, which wasn't really anything substantial. I watched a few people play through that. Yeah, kind of same thing. Scott might want to create another franchise and do something different. You know, I'm sure he's got some other good ideas up there because, you know, I think that's certainly something to keep an eye on what he devs because of the success of that. But yeah, I think Five Nights has been run into the ground pretty much, which is kind of a shame. It would have been best just to leave it at 3. But hey, that's... Well, actually, this is a ramble, so this is about whatever goes through my head. Like all the strange bullshit going on the internet. Yay! All Thunderfoot and that covers. And what is it, Sargon of Acronid? Yay, covers all that, countering all that bullshit. So good on them. Yeah, it's not just the religious fanatics anymore. We've got this whole fanatics in the whole so-called feminism movement, although they don't actually stick to the defines of what feminism actually is. I think the better term for them is female supremacists. Oh god, if there's not bloody some creationist trying to cause bullshit, there's always someone else. And then amusingly, what came up is there's people who actually call people who criticise ISIS like anti-Islam. I mean, what complete bullshit. I mean, really? Seriously? You know, there's nothing to do but criticise a group like ISIS. They are fucking religious nutjob terrorists. You know, when they're throwing homosexuals off roofs and stuff and whatever else, you know, there's not, you know, that is one place I would say it was actually necessary to go to war with. I mean, bloody hell. It hasn't been necessary to go to war with a place for decades, yes. And the annoying thing is, this is all caused by the bloody Iraq and Afghanistan wars. Yeah, you can tell I still absolutely despise the people who are involved in starting that. Yeah, what else is there to ramble about? Tablet's going good since I fixed it. Microphone still works. Barely use it, but hey. Still works a treat. The beautiful thing. Still works a treat. Same wallpaper too, because it still amuses me. And I got new tools, got a new set of pliers because I fixed the toilet. Another toilet decided to die, so I rebuilt a toilet. What was it? Oh, that's it. Weekend I finished it off. Yeah, I'm not always the quickest at getting shit done, but toilet was kind of high priority. It's not much fun being stuck without flushing toilets. Other things that have been going on, I've been building electronics, but then my soldering station died because I kind of left it on. I forgot about it and left it on and the heating elements burnt out. So I need another one of these. And in fact, actually, I'm going to look at the model number, and if anyone has an idea of where to get the models, the things, the soldering iron tips, it's a precision gold one from Maplins. I can't actually find a model number on it. How typical. That's going to make it really, really, really difficult to get the new tip, the new element. Oh god, there's a lot of dust back there. We'll put that back and cover that up. I don't like dusting. Dusting's a waste of time. I'd rather cover it up than actually go through with it. What else has there been going on? Not really a lot interesting in the electronics or vintage computer repair. I don't know if anything significant has gone on since you last saw the Pip-Boy 3000 project, but we can certainly show it to you. I haven't really done much more on the software since I last touched it. I got the GPS working and I got the clock set correctly, and there was something else. Oh yeah, I was getting some of the menus up and running, but yeah, I can actually wear this on my wrist now if I haven't already shown that. I don't know if I have because I can't be asked to look up the video. That's when I first mentioned I was interested by the Fallout 4. But yeah, I should go down my local RC model shop and buy the paints, because it'd be nice to actually get the physical part completed. I also need to drill the holes for the 3 buttons down here. I need to build the circuit, but soldering station's out of commission at the moment. I have got another one, but it needs repair. But I do have standard 2 standalone soldering irons, so I can just use those instead of that. I'm at IBM. Back when IBM used to actually do personal computers, they'd hand it over to Lenovo in the end. I'm not actually entirely sure what IBM is doing these days. I haven't looked into it. I've been more interested into looking at all the security stuff. Like TalkTalk, absolutely failing miserably. Oh god, that's the latest one anyway. I've got a whole book of ones that have happened over the last year. of various little vulnerabilities that have come up, hacks that have happened that I did over the Masters, because you've got to keep track of this stuff. But yeah, the latest one everyone's talking about is TalkTalk, and how they basically screwed up severely. In fact, my neighbour needs to actually get on and find out whether his details were stolen, because I noticed his home router, although really calling the home routers, it's not technically correct, because there are actually 3 devices in one. They're a wireless access point, they are a switch, and they are a router. So they're actually 3 devices in one. There's no such thing as what they claim to be, because they're 3 devices merged. And because the inherent operation of all 3 devices is incredibly complicated, they're usually merged very badly, which is why home wireless is so damn pitiful. Hey, look, my mouth isn't in sync. How exciting. Yes, I could give you a better quality camera, but sod it. You can go along with shitty Vaseline lens, cheap ass thing from Maplins. Yeah, so my neighbour should certainly get himself checked there, because that could be something that comes up to bite him in the arse, and that'd be a shame, because he's actually a really nice neighbour. What else is there? We could go on about EEPROM's Quadcopter's been going good. Let's show you it, because it has not appeared on the internet in its latest form. And I haven't been flying it over any airports and whatnot, so you shouldn't see it in the news either. Here we go, in all its crappy quality glory of video. Yes, it now has antennae. Get it? Antennae? Yeah, the receiver aerials antenna. Bugs antenna. Yeah, I'm sure you get that terrible joke that only I find funny. We got 6-inch props. I really don't know why these aren't metric, but hey, someone somewhere decided to make that standard, so fair enough. It's got the FPV camera, so if we get the angling right, the camera's now looking at the camera. We got our FPV antenna knock, although I need some decent FPV antennas. We got the receiver under the naze board. There's the naze board, there's the receiver. 8-channel, got telemetry, so I need to hook up the battery to this, and that's really all I want. And sort out current. Battery and current, they're the 2 bits of telemetry I actually care about, because it'll be kind of useful to know battery voltage, because then you know when to bring it into land if you're flying it a little bit further away where the bleepity bleep isn't so audible. My brother burnt out one of the motors. That's since been replaced. In fact, it was this motor I'm spinning. ESCs are going strong, so they're pretty much bulletproof. They've got some heat shrink on now. Still need to waterproof the electronics. Got some stuff in the cupboard that I want to do it with, but I wanted to test it on this little circuit I was building. Yep, that's why I've been building this little flashy LED circuit, to test that. So yeah, always fun. And of course, we got our beautiful little decals we made, which are those. I'm sure most of you will recognise that. That's another one of my little bizarro drawings that I did not too long ago, because I love drawing stupid things, and that's what I've always loved doing. You know, I think it's quite funny. Plan B, be an artist. Yes, because there's a real career role in being an artist. It's a shame, because there's some people with some good talent out there, but there really isn't any money in it. You know, not unless you get extremely lucky. You land yourself the right gig, then you might make something as an artist. There's still legit careers to be had in things like photography and that, but drawings, not so much. If any of you can prove me wrong, feel free to, because it's always nice to learn new things. My transmitter's going nicely. Let's actually get it down, because I want to actually quickly go over this with you, some of the good bits and bad bits of it, because I do have my beefs with it, and I do have the things I love. I love the feel of the gimbals. They feel gorgeous, and the clicky switches. These switches are basically like twiddling with the knobs and switches of a 1970s piece of test gear. They feel that good. It's absolutely awesome. The user interface, for example, I have not seen a device in recent years which has such a lovely user interface. It's just so nice. You really don't get user interfaces that are this well designed anymore. And it's really nice to come across a device which has a really nicely user interface. My main beefs though is, one, there's no like single button reset for the timer, so when you change the battery you don't necessarily want to have to reset this. You have to do it through the menus, which is a bit annoying. Another thing, this fucking antenna. I mean, seriously. Let's go over the problem with this. One, the mounts to it are very weak, so it's already popped off once. It's also a bit flippity-woppity cheap-ass, so, you know, for something that would usually be a £250 transmitter, that is not acceptable. And another thing, why is it not removable? An antenna on this sort of grade of equipment should be removable, and this isn't just Spectrum who are guilty of this, this is just about every single transmitter manufacturer. It's not removable, so you want to put a higher gain antenna on it, you've got to go through the bloody trainer port and do a whole new transmitter setup. And that's no, that is wrong. We want a standardized socket. It could be BNC, it could be whatever the one's called for Wi-Fi. Have I got an antenna in here? No. Well, there is, but I can't be asked to find it. But, you know, so you can put on a Yagi or something on it. What if you just want a bit longer range in front of you and you're not interested in flying behind you? You want to stick a Yagi or something on there. You know, there's loads of instances. FPV people always use various directional antennas. You know, if you had that, you could set up you could hook your transmitter up to a diversity system. So when it gets more distant, your model, it can then switch to a different antenna, say a Yagi over a dipole or something. So suddenly you get further out ahead and you've got a little more range, you know, it gives you extra safety net. I mean, to be fair, you do get a kilometre range by default on a standard line of sight 2.4 gig system, which is most people will need. But there's always the niche users, and bloody manufacturers always forget about those people. There are people who are going to need to change this antenna. I mean, I would like to change this antenna to a non-shit one, you know? One that doesn't bloody pop off and bloody half break all the time and isn't so floppity-woppity it doesn't stay in one position. But yeah, that's my main gripe with this. You know, you can... Another thing, Spectrum, do your official receivers have to be so bloody expensive and be so lacking in options? Why can't you all give them telemetry? Why can't you... And another thing is, give them a serial interface. Seriously. Having to do it through bloody PWM to the flight controller is just ridiculous. It adds unnecessary weight. And when you're dealing with flying stuff, weight is your enemy. You want your craft as light as possible. So, yeah. Fix that. And also, include telemetry in all your receivers, because it's just backwards not to have it. Let's be honest. You're just penny pinching and it's annoying as hell. Luckily, there are third-party manufacturers who have basically reverse engineered and selling their own version that does DMX and DSM2 modules, so just use those. Because they're actually priced competitively and actually have sensible features, like serial, like they have S-Bus. S-Bus is great. Yeah, I had to build an inverter, but what was that, about 10-minute job? But yeah, other than that, it's a really good transmitter, other than those real beefs, which you can consider a minor in the grand scheme of things, but it's always worth noting. Yeah, decent transmitter, but like anything, it has its faults. Oh yeah, standard socket, good. Not like my bloody built screwdriver, which the bastards put a proprietary bloody power socket on it. That's something else I can go through. Yeah, he's probably got a view of my cock or something now, although I'm not naked, so you never know. Oh, what's going on? Oh, my computer decided to go and screensaver. Woohoo! This electric screwdriver, absolutely great. I love the magazine system. So you just do that, and you've got magazines. You know, much better than bloody faddling about taking them out, putting them in. No, you just change your ends. Brilliant. The only real disadvantage with the system is the magazine is non-removable. So if you want to change the ends, you've got to do it all very awkward, change the out way rather than pull the magazine out, tip it out, and then just put the ends you want in. Another thing, proprietary evil. Now you're not going to be able to see this, just look at a standard barrel jack, but no, it's an evil proprietary thing. Why? Just why? It's even a standard bloody USB voltage range and current range. You could bloody charge this with a USB. Why not just stick a standard bloody connector on it? This bloody money grubbing that these companies do really rats me off. But yeah, all good. Other than those two things, and the proprietary thing rats me off more than it probably should, but that's the thing that really rats me off, because I hate proprietary. Apparently there was an EU law in the works that was going to ban proprietary connectors. Please, if any law passes, let it be that one, rather than one of the bullshit ones. Because there's plenty of bullshit ones in the float at the moment. TTP, just to name one. Was it? No, it's TPP. You know, there's a lot like that, or snooping acts, or other stuff that really shouldn't pass, certainly not in its current state. Be rewritten to not basically screw everyone else over. But yeah, anything else to ramble about? Mr. Micro Professor. Since we haven't had something vintage computer on the EEPROM 9 for a while, which is most detrimental, because although I haven't really got the room to collect them at the moment, so basically when I get my own house I can restart collecting. Yay! I can go back to hoarding computers. I love hoarding computers. There's just so much fun and satisfaction in hoarding computers. But since we haven't had any vintage computers on camera for a while, why not get down the Micro Professor, which is probably covered in dust. Actually, not too bad. Oh, you probably couldn't see the dust cloud that came off there. It was like just like in a library. Yeah, it was a dust cloud. I don't know. I don't think that camera's good enough quality to pick up. There's a manual I printed off and made. And here we have the Micro Professor. This has appeared before, yes, I know, it's nothing new. Maybe I should show off the Scion organisers, I think they're called, but they've got a P in the front, so what the fuck's that all about? So I never know what to call them. But yeah, these things are great. I should actually sit down and actually do some learning with this, because this would be good to teach me some assembly language, and yeah, knowing assembly language for the reverse engineering of protocols and whatnot is kind of useful, so yeah, I should get on that. But saying that, I have been increasing my C programming language. I've got a little widget I've built that has displayed a number of curse words and is currently displaying my brother's name. Shall I get it out and show you? I might as well. I don't know whether anyone will watch this crap, but hey. That's always the way. Oh, I can't be asked to get it out. Too much. I'm too lazy. Sorry. I'm too lazy. I'm loving this little carry everywhere torch, which I probably haven't shown any of you, because let's be honest, I haven't done a YouTube video in so long. The truth is ever since Google Plus, it's become a bit of a bloody job to do stuff. So yeah, that did kind of permanently do damage to my enthusiasm. But hey. For some weird reason, I never like videos where people bang on about their YouTube channel. I find them incredibly dull and boring. I don't know, maybe it's because it's like going towards Nazism, and I've never really been big on Nazism. By the way, when I'm talking about Nazism, I'm not referring to the Nazis, I'm referring to people being up their own arses and thinking they're the best. But knowing me, I've probably pronounced it wrong, and it's got some weird-ass pronunciation I will never be able to do in my life, so it's Nazism, I think. so don't make that mistake. Although, what could I really add to talking about Nazis that anyone else hasn't already added? You know, it's universally known they were bad. Yeah, so that's fun. Oh yeah, channels. You get a number of types and weird ones popping up. You know, on the subject of them, you get all your crappy ones. That's the trouble. You do find that a lot of the good stuff tends to be hidden away, obscure, and like buried under the crap. Unfortunately, you know, all these bloody. I mean, a lot of people will lamp on like gaming as a bad one, but yes, there are a huge amount of crap channels when it comes to gaming. But not everyone who has gaming channel is crap. I mean, you know, look at people like Steve Benway and whatnot. And all that good, RGVX, and who else is there? There's even Electric Adventures. You know, they all do their own things. They all have something unique to add to it. I guess it's when you're not really adding something unique of your own to it, that's where it really becomes perhaps you should concentrate on something else like I did. Because my gaming videos are shit. Just go back to the older videos to have a look and you'll see they're shit. But yeah, good fun. And as you can see, I'm currently growing a beard again because I'm too bloody lazy to shave the bastard off. If my hair drops out, I have decided, why all my hair drops out because, well, let's be honest, getting old's a bitch, then I will grow a Gandalf beard. That I promise, because that would amuse me. Here's a cool keyring. I got it with the quad arms that I got for my quad. So yeah, it's middle finger! That appeals to me. From Thug Frame. In fact, actually, because they sent along a load of extras, got a whole load of props and that from them, which they sent with the third arm. So yeah, if you want any quad bits, definitely worth checking out because they're a UK company. So yeah, Thug Frame. Just type that into Google, their website will come up. Highly recommended to at least have a look because they've got decent arms for the ZMR250 and, well, they sent along a load of free goodies, so yeah. I don't know whether it was because I was a new customer or whatnot, but, you know, it was just out of surprise, like, oh, this is nice, got some 6-inch props. What do you know? I put them on my quad, I try it out, I break them in the first flight, but hey, I like the 6-inch props, so I buy more, so it works out quite nicely for them because, you know, throw a few little extras in there, you get customers on your side. Another thing, if the model, like my local model shop op's name didn't just so give away the location of where I live, but it's literally like right next to my house. Yep, I never even knew about it for years. God, I'd love to have known about that place years ago. You know, because you don't necessarily even have to use the parts from RC models. You can use servos for robotics, for example. That would be great my Beam Robot days. But you can just, you know, if its name didn't give away my location, I'd love to do a YouTube video basically advertising the place because they're great. That's where I got my transmitter. I spent a lot of money in that shop, let's just say. You know, all my batteries are from there, all that stuff. The transmitter was, I got it for about 170, 180. Which is kind of what pushed me over the edge because I could have had that or a lower down model. I think they were showing me the high-tech flash. I can't remember, but yeah, I like the DX8. It's nice. It's a very nice transmitter. Hey, look, there's people outside. They're still building houses. Oh wait, I don't know if I've told you about the houses being built across the street. Regardless, they're building houses across the street. Look at me, I can ramble on for fucking ages about just pure crap, pure dross. Now I'm telling you about houses being built across our street. Because that's totally what everyone who watches a bloody YouTube channel about electronics and engineering and the odd rants about crap totally wants to hear about. The mundane shit of bloody houses being built across opposite from our houses. But yeah, being woken up by pneumatic drills in the morning is fucking annoying. So yeah, there's a rant. There we go. We can have a rant about how it's annoying being woken up by bloody drills in the morning, where you're there trying to sleep, and then you've got, or you've got circular saws going on for several hours, starting at 8 o'clock in the morning. I don't want to be woken up at 8 o'clock in the morning. I don't have work or anything. If I have work, I don't care, but, you know, I kind of don't at the moment. Well, not booked in next week. My boss did want to book me into, where was it? I don't know. It's basically, well, Hastings and East Sussex is really as far as I really want to go. It was like a little further on, yeah, that's just a little too far. It's like the next town along or something. But yeah, that was too far for me. I quite like the drive to Hastings. It's a nice drive, but you know, when your drive is already an hour, I don't really want to extend it long. Not unless I'm getting paid significantly more, because you got to take into account the cost of petrol to get there. You know, petrol ain't cheap. Man, you look at the bloody train fares up to London. Jesus Christ, 60 odd quid on the peak times for just one trip up and a return back. That's taking the fucking piss. It literally is. That's more than a tank of petrol, which can last me up to several weeks if I'm good and don't drive too far. You know, that can get me up to, and sometimes a little over, 400 miles worth of range. It's bloody ridiculous. And then the government's like, why don't people use public transport? They should bloody privatise it, so it's too sodding expensive. And then, of course, the train companies, they have a bloody monopoly on the damn bloody trains. It's only one company that does it all. So they can charge as much bloody prices up the arse as possible, and no one can do jack shit about it. It's just sodding wrong. You know, at least throw some sodding competition on the train line, so there's other bloody train companies competing. That way we can at least have decent prices. God, there are so many things like that I can complain about. But yeah, I'm sure anyone who does train travel can agree there that it takes the complete piss. It's like Royal Mail gets privatised. What happens? Prices go whoop. That's why I'm utterly against privatisation, especially with any sort of public type services, gas, electric, utilities, you know, stuff you need to survive. You know, I'd even argue these days you need a non-privatised internet service provider, because, you know, you can't even get a job in this country anymore without the internet. Because, you know, you need to email someone your CV or something. You know, all the application procedures are online, so I'd say that even applies to internet these days, could be considered an essential utility. I don't know about other countries, but that's the UK certainly, yes. We could do with a non-privatised ISP that's cheap. Saying that, there's enough competition in the ISPs that the prices don't tend to be too much through the roof, but they're still way higher than they should be. And people in Australia and whatnot have it even worse. Jesus. You know, Dave Jones was going over here, the whole ISP thing with in Australia, and it's sodding disgusting. I mean, really? That's just so disgusting. They have to go through that. But you can't get decent internet without paying, like, what was it, like $400 a month? I mean, yeah, that'd be $200, which would be about 170 quid a month. That's a fair amount of money. You know, that's not to be sniffed at. You know, when you can get rates in the UK these days that give you reasonable amounts of things, and you get 20 megs for like 20 quid or something, you know, you can get it for reasonable prices. It's the exact thing, and it's just ridiculous, you know. It's not just things in the UK that are ridiculous and annoying. You know, you get lots of things like that that are just wrong. You know, you look at the health industry and the amount of money in that, it's fucking wrong. You know, people, I mean, how fucking disgusting is it to make profit over people being ill and dying? Is there really any lower way to make profit? I'd argue actually that, you know, the mafia are probably sadly more morally just than the bloody drug pharmaceutical companies. Because at least with the mafia, they're honest about making bloody profits about over drugs and demise of people. But there are so many fucked up injustices in this world. So many. And in some cases they seem to be getting worse, while in other cases they're getting better. Who knows? In bloody 40 years we could have all nuked ourselves to death, so who knows what happens then. I think it was either one thing I said recently, it's just like, well, in 40 years I could be dead. You don't know. Anything can happen in that time. Anyway, I don't think there's anything else to ramble about. Not that really comes to mind. But yeah. What is it? What's the difference between waffle and ramble? I don't know. Someone tell me in the comments if anyone watches this. The passcode, if you made it to the end, is pliers on my nuts. That's also funny. Thanks for watching, if you've made it this far. Don't forget, pliers in my nuts in the comments.